Sometimes in life, nothing happens the way we want it to. We pray, we hope, we wait, but time passes, and nothing seems to change. In moments like these, it's easy to feel abandoned, easy to believe that God has turned his face away from us. It's easy to think that every door has been permanently shut. But have you ever asked yourself this question? What if the trials you are facing are not punishments, but part of a greater plan you cannot yet see? And what if what you call a disaster is actually the very boat that will carry you to safety? On a dark night, in the middle of the endless ocean, a large ship was fighting against violent waves. The storm rose suddenly, wild and unforgiving. Thunder tore through the sky, and the sea roared like a raging beast. The ship was tossed helplessly, then shattered in the fury of the storm. Cries for help filled the air. Wood cracked. Water swallowed everything. And then, silence. When morning came, only broken pieces of the ship drifted across the vast sea. From that terrible disaster, only one man survived. By a miracle of destiny, his unconscious body was carried by the waves and washed ashore on a deserted island. When he opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was an empty blue sky. No people, no voices, no signs of life. He had survived death, only to awaken in absolute loneliness. At first, hope still burned inside him. He looked up to the sky and prayed with trembling lips. "Oh Lord, please save me. Please send someone to help me." The entire day passed. No ship appeared. He continued praying, day after day, but the sky remained silent. The ocean remained indifferent. Slowly, his faith began to crack. He stopped praying, not because he no longer believed in God, but because his heart no longer had the strength to hope. When hope waits too long in silence, it turns into pain. At last, he chose another path. Survival. He gathered dry branches and built a small hut to protect himself. He learned how to fish and find food. Every morning, he asked himself, "Will I survive one more day?" Time moved with unbearable slowness. 10 days passed. 15 days passed. Nearly 20 days passed. The hope of being rescued had faded into a fragile ember, until one afternoon, the man left his hut to collect coconuts. When he returned, he saw something that made his heart freeze in terror. His hut was on fire. Flames rose violently into the sky. Thick, black smoke twisted into the air. Within moments, the only shelter he had was burning into ashes. He collapsed to his knees. All his suffering, all his effort to survive, all his fragile hope, everything was now being destroyed before his very eyes. With tears streaming down his face, he lifted his head and cried out in agony, "Oh God, I begged you to help me, but you did not come. And now, even the only thing I had left, you have taken that too. Why? Why are you so cruel to me?" In that moment, his last remaining faith shattered. Exhausted and broken, he fell asleep on the cold sand. The next morning, a strange sound woke him up. It was the low, heavy sound of a ship's engine. Far beyond the island, a large ship was slowly approaching. His heart exploded with emotion. He ran toward the beach, waving his arms and crying out. Sailors pulled him aboard. Once he was safe, he asked the captain, "How did you know I was stranded on this deserted island?" The captain looked at him and answered simply, "We saw a signal fire rising from the island. That's how we knew someone was here." The man stood frozen. Suddenly, the image of his burning hut flashed in his mind. The fire he had cursed, the fire he believed had destroyed the last thing he owned. Now he understood. That very fire had saved his life. He realized that God had never abandoned him. God had simply chosen a way far beyond his understanding to lead him away from death. The man fell to his knees in tears, not tears of pain, but tears of awakening. Through his sobs, he whispered, "Oh Lord, forgive me for doubting you. I only saw what I lost. I never saw what you were preparing for me." This story is not just about a man on a deserted island. It is the story of all of us. In life, there are days when everything falls apart at once, when every prayer feels like it disappears into silence. And in those moments, we begin to blame fate, life, even God. We forget that we only see one small piece of the picture, but the Creator sees the entire journey. Sometimes, your hut must burn so the ship has a reason to find you. Sometimes, you must lose the last thing you are holding on to, so you are forced to walk toward a new path. If today you are losing something, it may not be a punishment. It may be a signal. If today you are suffering, it may not be the end. It may be a new beginning forming in the darkness. And if today you feel abandoned, remember this: even when you cannot see God's plan, that does not mean He is not working. He is always there, quietly preparing the way for your rescue. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please share it and subscribe for more messages of faith and hope.